Hi, I'm Hanyo, a writer-director, and I'm currently working on the screenplay for my next feature film. So today, we're tackling a nemesis I think most creatives face at some point: writer's block. That soul-crushing, mind-numbing, utterly frustrating feeling of staring at a blank page and nothing. Nada. But here's the good news. Writer's block isn't permanent. In fact, it might even be the key to unlocking your next great idea. So here are 5 tips how to overcome writer's block and maybe even take advantage of it. Step 1. Embrace boredom. We live in a world where every free moment is filled with scrolling, streaming, and multitasking. But creativity thrives in stillness, so you'll need to get rid of any distractions. Turn off everything that beeps, blinks, or tempts you to lose focus in any other way. If necessary, you might even want to lock your door so you can allow yourself to sit in silence and feel, well, bored. Boredom forces your brain to wander, and that's where the magic happens. Think about it. Some of your best ideas probably came to you in the shower or while you were staring out a window, right? Lean into that space. Step 2. Feed your mind. When the ideas aren't flowing, it's time to draw inspiration from other sources. Films, music, photos, paintings, books, even nature. Inspiration doesn't just fall from the sky, most of the time. It's something you can cultivate by exposing yourself to different impressions. After all, creativity is all about bringing together ideas from various, usually unrelated fields to create something new and original. It's important to not just passively consume, though. Instead, take notes, highlight, screenshot, or sketch out everything that speaks to you. This way, you might stumble upon that spark you've been waiting for. When writing, I often work with a mood board that shows film stills of movies with a similar topic or feel to the story I'm working on, and I do the same thing with soundtracks. As a matter of fact, the protagonist of my new film is a coffee addict, so when writing dialogue for a character, I usually have a cup of coffee next to me too. It might sound stupid, but I feel like the smell and taste helps me to put myself in her shoes and empathize with her. However, I don't recommend drinking 5 cups of coffee in one afternoon. Anyways, step 3. Stop trying to be productive 24/7. We are not machines. You can't expect your brain to churn out brilliant ideas non-stop. The trick is to manage your time efficiently. Schedule focused writing sessions, but don't guilt trip yourself if you're not productive every second of the day. Use a calendar or set up a to-do list to structure your day and define milestones. It's important to be specific with your tasks so you don't lose track. Don't set a reminder for something as broad as write a screenplay. Instead, think about all the small steps that lead you to the next milestone, and then define a realistic goal for the day, such as come up with 10 ideas for an inciting incident. It sounds much easier than it is, and I personally still struggle with it a lot. But once you have a checklist, the writing process becomes a lot more fun. Step 4. Write first, edit later. One of the biggest creativity killers of all time is overthinking. So here's what you need to do. Write everything down. Every idea, no matter how silly, weird, or outright bad it seems. Just put it on paper or your screen. Keep a notepad or app handy everywhere you go. These seemingly random flashes of inspiration can still be refined later. Remember, you can't edit a blank page, but you can turn a rough idea into a good story. So once you've decided on an idea, stick with it and see it through, even when parts of it feel like total garbage. You need to focus on the big picture and don't get hung up on minor details. When writing the first draft of a script, for example, my dialogue is usually all subtext, meaning the characters say exactly what they think and feel. Sounds horrible, but it's easy to come up with and helps me to focus on what it is the characters want. The best example for this is the following scene from Annie Hall by Woody Allen.
So, did you do those photographs in there, or what?
Yeah, I sort of dabble around, you know.
They're wonderful. You know, they have a quality.
Well, I would like to take a serious photography course.
Photography is interesting because, you know, it's a new art form and a set of aesthetic criteria have not emerged yet.
Aesthetic criteria? You mean whether it's a good photo or not?
The medium enters in as a condition of the art form itself.
Well, to me, I mean, it's all instinctive, you know. I mean, I just try to feel it, you know. I try to get a sense of it and not think about it so much.
Still, you need a set of aesthetic guidelines to put it in social perspective, I think.
Well, I don't know. I mean, I guess you must be sort of late, huh?
Writing dialogue is an art of its own, and I will do another video on that in the near future. If you're curious, subscribe, hit the bell, and you won't miss it. But for now, let's focus on the last tip for overcoming writer's block. Step 5. Set creative limitations. At first glance, this advice may appear slightly odd. Isn't creativity all about expressing yourself freely, doing whatever you want in every which way? Well, sorta. But limitations can also boost your creativity, because they force you to solve problems, and solving problems makes you think outside the box. Set yourself challenges such as summarize your story in 6 words, all starting with the letter G. Create a character who only speaks in questions. Make sure your story takes place in one location only. You get the point. When you're working with boundaries, your brain gets more resourceful, and that's where original ideas come from. Writer's block isn't a wall you'll never climb. It's just a detour. So remember, the goal isn't perfection, it's progress. What do you do when writer's block hits? Let me know in the comments below. And if you found this video helpful, drop a like and hit that subscribe button. Until next time, happy writing.